Hi there. This is Amelia Kramer from Upwards Art Studio in Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada. I'm here today doing a demo about Jacquard um, fabric sheets. So we're going to look at some silk, some organza, and the dark transfer because it's a little bit different than the regular transfer. And it comes in other things as well. So cotton. We're not going to do this one today. But it's the same idea as the organza and the silk. This is the regular transfer paper, so it's on like white things. Generally, it's less opaque than the dark color one. And for this one, because it's a transfer, like a normal, I'm gonna put in air quotes, normal transfer, you need to flip or mirror any of your images before you print it. Okay? We're not going to do that one today, but we're going to do other ones. Okay, so I'm going to switch cameras somehow. Please. Okay, so just going to set these aside for a moment. So these all need an inkjet printer. Um, so this is an inkjet, and because I was borrowing somebody else, I was borrowing Anne's printer, and we weren't sure whether the top of the paper when we put it in the tray would print on here, because that's how my laser prints, or on the bottom. So we put on our piece of paper top, just in pencil, and then sent it through the machine. So now we know that I need to put the papers in this way. Does that make sense? It's better to do just a test and see, print it in black and white, like draft, just to like use less ink. Yeah, okay. So we printed on some, this is the silk. So you can sew any of this. What else we found, this was a tip from someone else, that we clipped just the edges of the printer or the paper so that the printer would catch it easier. That's super important for the transfers because the back is super slippery. The back on this is kind of slippery. So it comes with the carrier sheet. So this is the silk. It's been sitting about 15 minutes. We want it to sit for a bit so that the inks absorb into the paper. And now you can just peel it off. So this is the silk here, right? And then get a nice like ghost image on the or the carrier paper. And then this I can sew in. I could collage it in. It's really, it's really thin and lovely. You could do a design on it, and even like with wax, you could mold it into something if it was just a design, right? We've used pictures of paint pots from our studio. So there's lots of options for this one besides just sewing it in. There's that. You could also, like if you're quilting, put some white fabric behind it and then do your square. Yeah. And layering, right? If you're layering stuff, you could do, as I'm sitting here thinking about this, you could do a CMYK print and then layer them, right? So you could print one in the cyan, just print the magenta, print the yellow, and then print the black and layer them, and you'll get this like more depth in your image. So they come in a pack of 5. So if you're gonna do that, that kind of uses up your pack of 5, but that's okay. So that's the organza. Did I say it was silk before? It's actually the organza. Okay, so this one's the silk. Again, it's been sitting for about 15 minutes. So there's that one. This one comes in with 10 sheets. So this one's going to be more opaque than the organza. Again, we cut the corners so that we'll go through our printer easier. I'm just going to grab a corner here, maybe here we go. So again, comes with the carrier sheet. You don't need to do anything other than maybe trim your corners. Okay, I'm just going to peel this off without really stretch. I'm trying not to stretch the fabric too much.
Oh,
Still get this
wow.
like nice ghost.
Oh my
But
gosh.
this one's a lot more,
It's opaque, right?
it's opaque,
Yeah.
kind of, right? Because you can still kind of see through it. Like if I put this behind it, you'll still be able to see through it because it's really fine silk. Um, but uh, but because the silk is thicker, it's going to show up better, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So same things, you could just, you could layer this, you could sew it into something, again, back it with something else and you get the nice silk on top. The same would go for the cotton. It would obviously be even thicker, but the same idea that you could layer these, or even like finish it, stitch it onto a bag or stitch it onto something else. Okay, so we're also going to do a transfer. So this is the dark fabric transfers, different than the regular transfers. The regular transfers are in this, this like greeny, bluey box or thing. And then the dark ones are in the dark box. So these ones are a little bit different. So they come with a sheet of parchment. If you lose that, it's just kitchen parchment. And then it comes with these sheets. It has the blue lines on the back. So don't print on the blue lines. I don't know if you can see that on the video. There are blue lines on the sheet. So for us, we needed to put it in this way so that our image would come out on the smooth, on the kind of glossy-ish side. So with this one, you want to cut it out. The regular iron-on transfers is probably going on something light, so you don't need to do that as much. And I'm pretty shaky today. So I'm gonna cut that a little better. I don't want like any white. I'm just gonna make this a little bit easier on myself. Okay, and then I'm also gonna cut out this one just so that you can see what the if you leave white around it. So with these, you print them the right way that you want them, and then this peels off. If I can get it to peel off. I'm gonna move this closer. It's gonna do like the bend over the corner thing.
Want me to peel the other one?
Sure.
And I can.
Oh, and cut that part. Do you want righty or lefty?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm gonna peel off the backing, and it feels kind of plasticky. I'll put that where I want it on my shirt. If I really super cared, I would get out like a measuring thing and do all that kind of stuff. I've got my parchment. Actually, we'll do both at the same time.
Yeah.
So I have a hot iron, no steam. I was doing other stuff with this where it needed no steam, like heat bond and stuff. So I've actually taken all the water out just in case it randomly wants to steam. So I will show you that. So if you have something that's sticky, you can bend it the opposite way of where the backing is, and it will just peel off. There we go.
Like a pro.
Like a pro. Okay, and I'll put this one down here. Okay, and I got my parchment paper and I've got my hot iron, and we're gonna just hold it on there. I'm gonna move it around a little bit because I'm never convinced that not moving in iron is a good idea. And we're gonna awkwardly talk about randomness.
So I have a question about that. How long do you have to iron for it? Is it like a minute, 2 minutes?
3 to 5.
3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, can you explain why you can't use a laser printer and why you have to use?
Yes, so a laser printer uses toner, and so toner sits on top of the paper. It's got like an electric charge to it, and that's why it sits there. This is steaming. I just said that it wouldn't steam. So the toner sits on top of the paper, whereas inkjet goes into the paper or whatever it's being printed on.
And for like washing instructions, like after you've, ironed that, how long do you have to wait before you can put it in a washing machine, I assume with a garment bag?
I would read the instructions.
All right.
So you turn the garment inside out, just like you would with anything with a logo, and then wash and dry separately.
Right. So you can even throw it into the dryer.
Yeah, I would probably still hang it to
Yeah,
dry.
yeah,
That would
sense.
be like I even hang jeans to dry.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah. To me, this is an alternative to a heat press
Right.
with a Cricut,
Right.
right? So this is a lot more affordable and something that if you want to start doing this,
Yeah.
you're just gonna have to know, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure, because crickets and that Cricut transfer paper is,
It's expensive.
we share.
So these ones, the image is darker, right? More like in your face than than this one that's meant for lighter colored fabrics, right? So the issue with this is that the white shows up. But if that's something that you don't care about or it's part of your design, because ink or printers don't print white, right? So if you have the design, even if it was like this, or I put the upwards logo somewhere. Right, if I wanted this on my shirt, like even here, I would probably print it on this darker one in a rectangle so that I get the white around so that you can actually read what it says. That makes sense?
Total,
Yeah.
total. Because if you just cut around that, the black would just blend into the
Yeah,
purple.
yeah. So I can take this off now, and now I have some things on the back of my sweater.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do have one other question. Fabric glue.
Yep.
Could you use this, like the organza or the silk in tandem with the, the fabric adhesives?
So I would probably use something like a heat and bond because it takes up the whole area rather than something that's might be glued in little bits, because something really transparent like this, it'll stay there. Even if it says it dries clear, it's still going to dry clear, but you're going to have that little kind of outline of a circle or whatever that looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
I think you've answered all my questions. Thank you, Amelia.
Okay, so we have the Jacquard printable fabric and transfers at Upwards Art Studio in Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada. Our online store is upwardsartstudio.com or upwardsart.com. And we'll come with more product demos. Let me know if you want to see anything in particular. We do have a bunch of them on our channel right now. So check those out and do the follow and subscribe thing. Okay, thanks everyone.